Welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to break down how we think like a portfolio manager and trade like a portfolio manager or a hedge fund, as opposed to what the majority of traders are doing out there, which is completely different. So I'm going to talk to you about the processes that we use and how we trade, how we build strategies to like this, to basically mimic how big funds operate. And there's a few principles. So let me get into that. One of the biggest principles of the whole thing is don't put all your eggs in one basket. I think it's a good rule in life in general, and especially in finance. Now, if you think of the average trader on YouTube or a course that you've likely gone through, most people teach a single strategy or a couple of strategies and a couple of assets, but it's not that much because it relies on you being an expert and digging down and finding a good strategy, back testing it, and just focusing on that one asset. A lot of people teach that principle. However, markets are cyclical. Things change constantly. Heck, if you look at the last 2 months since the Gulf escalation, how the markets have changed and how the volumes have changed and liquidity flow has changed. What worked 2, 3 months ago isn't necessarily working now. So having this focused tunnel vision mindset on how to be a trader, in my opinion, is flawed for the average retail trader because one, you don't have enough time to sit in front of the charts all day and to be an expert because you have family and work obligations and other things going on. So I see a lot of people struggling because they don't have the principle of diversification. And I'll get into that in a second and how we build systems to have diversification in how we trade. The second is basing on data and not guesswork. All the major funds now, for a very, very long time, they've based on data. It's not guesswork. It's not one guy at the top going, I think oil's going to go up. We're going to buy a bunch of oil futures. That's not what happens. So everything is based on data. Whereas again, if you look at the retail trading sector, very, very few people base their trading on data. They have a chart in front of them and they make an educated guess. It's guesstimation at best. And I fell into that sort of trap for a long time. So I think I'll probably butcher this statistic, but around about 50% of all hedge fund volume is now algorithmic, and the total amount of 100% hedge fund algorithmic funds are increasing all the time. So it's all based on data, but a lot of it's automated as well. So being data driven in your approach to trading, you have to do it basically. And process over prediction, which goes back to everything I just said. A lot of people focus on predicting. They look at a chart, see support and resistance, and say, I think it's going to go up, I think it's going to go down, whatever. That's a prediction. Whereas if you have a process based on data, it's completely different. So, automate the execution is another big takeaway. Now, 99% of retail traders trade technical analysis or some form of fundamental analysis. But the execution is still down to the human, and the human still has to press the button. This human still has to exit the trade. The human still has to do all of these things. And when you have a human execution, you leave yourself open to all these fears that we've likely all dealt with in the past, which is fear of missing out, fear of greed, etc., etc. And there's just so many weak links in everything in these last 6 slides that I've talked about. There are so many weak links just by using the process that most people use. Which brings me down to remove the human aspect. When you remove the human, things change. Engineer for robustness. Now, it's all well and good back testing a strategy, but is that strategy weathered to perform in lots of different market environments? Most people, when they back test, they cherry pick. They look at trades and their brain tricks them into thinking that this is a perfect scenario. They'll back test 100 different setups and they'll win 60% of them. Decent strategy. But have you back tested on enough data? Do you have a big enough sample size to make it statistically significant? And then are you going to basically try to break the strategy as much as possible? Now, you can't, it's very, very hard to do all these things manually. To engineer enough robustness in the strategy, you have to have some sort of data engineering for that to happen. And I'll show you again how you can do this in just 1 second. Now, risk management is talked a lot about in the trading space. And at a strategy level, that's all I ever see people talk about. I'm going to take 2-to-1 trades only, and I'm going to risk no more than 1% of my account. Great. But when you start to see risk management from a portfolio level, that's when things start to change. So rather than looking at a strategy and thinking this is a 2-to-1 risk to reward, I'm risking 1%, you look at a whole portfolio and how it performs together. Because again, having all your eggs in one basket isn't how big, large institutional money operates. They operate at portfolio level with diversification. And the last principle is scale with other people's money. That's pretty much the fund, how the fund operates. Now, most traders in the retail space don't have enough capital behind them to make it worthwhile. If you're trying to grow a $5,000 account, it's going to take you a very, very long time until you get something meaningful by compounding. Because regardless, you see other people say they flip their accounts every couple of months and they're winning 99% win rates and ridiculous monthly returns. It's not going to last. That's all juvenile stuff. So based on what I've just said, these 10 slides, remove the human, based on data, diversification, that's the one thing that we do inside our company and we help our clients with. So I'm going to share my screen now and show you how that process looks at a high level. So we utilize a lot of software, systems, to be able to create our strategies. And what you're looking at right now is one of those systems. It looks really confusing, but it's really, really not. Think of it like Lego blocks. We've put all the Lego blocks together and we give it to our clients in a ready-made template. So all that's happening right now is we're using a process called data mining to find strategies. And the best analogy I can give is we give the system some criteria. I'm looking to trade this data. So in this instance, it's the NASDAQ, and we're looking to trade this instrument on the 4-hour chart. We give it some entry criteria. We give it a few filters. We're only looking for trades that win a certain amount, for example. Then the machine processes every single tick that ever happened on the NASDAQ over the past 10 years, and it looks for potential strategies. Then the next step of the evolution is once it finds a strategy that's profitable and fits our criteria, it goes through a process of what's called genetic evolution, which it continues to try and improve that strategy over time. It's like if you think of Darwin's theory of evolution. If you believe in that sort of stuff, everything started off as a microorganism and then eventually it turned into a little tadpole, and the tadpole had legs, fish swam in the sea. Then we had apes, and then they turned into humans. So everything's a process of survival of the fittest. And that's exactly what's happening here. Is once we have an initial pool of strategies, we then go through a process of trying to refine and improve those strategies. Then once we have a big pool of strategies, we then try to break them, basically, and it's stress testing. And that goes back to what I was talking about before for your back testing. It's all well and good to have a back test, but you need to be able to stress test to make sure that things can weather the storm, that they can work in high volatile environments that we're currently seeing now, or during the pandemic, or during the 2008-ish crash. So you need to be able to mimic these type of environments to make sure that your strategies can weather the storm. So once we have all of that, we might, let's say we had 10,000 initial strategies at the start, we may have 10 at the end that went through that whole process of improvement and iteration and stress testing, and you get to 10. And again, that's all automated within the system. Once you have 10 potential strategies, you need to get about 100, and we put them into a portfolio. And in that portfolio, around about 20 will survive. So that whole process can take about a month to create a robust portfolio of strategies that have been stress tested, that can weather the storm. But at the end of it, you have strategies that are automated, that are risk managed at a portfolio level, that remove the human completely and execute for you, and they're based on real data. It's based on not just a back test of looking at a chart and back testing 50 times, on every single tick of data that's happened on that asset in years and years and years. So you're starting to think more like a hedge fund would. Obviously, we're not the same as a hedge fund, nowhere near, but you can still use the same principles of data, automated execution, and portfolio level risk management. So that's pretty much what we do here. If you want more information about that, there'll be links somewhere around this video, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want any questions answered about this, just comment below and we'll be sure to either answer it or shoot a different video more in depth.